Welcome to the Dominaria United Rules video. My name is Nelson.
I'm Serge. Let's go over the new and returning mechanics.
Tired of waiting for your favorite part of the saga? Ever wish you could just skip to the best part? If you already know your Dominarian history, why not try to read ahead? As a saga with read ahead enters the battlefield, choose a number. The saga enters the battlefield with the chosen number of lore counters. Then, the chapter ability associated with the number you chose goes on the stack. Neither choosing the number nor putting the counters on the saga use the stack. To be clear, you can still counter the saga on the stack, and you can respond to the chapter ability after it's been chosen. But if the saga resolves, you won't have priority again until your opponent has made their choice. Normally, if more than one lore counter is put on a saga at one time, all of the appropriate chapter abilities will trigger. The read ahead ability creates an exception to this. On the turn that a saga with read ahead entered the battlefield, its chapter abilities won't trigger unless it has exactly the same number of lore counters on it as that ability's chapter number. On subsequent turns, a saga with read ahead follows the normal rules for saga enchantments.
There's nothing better in Magic than attacking. But let's face it, some creatures just aren't cut out for war. But with the new enlist mechanic, even your smallest, most delicate creatures can get in on the fun. Enlist means, as this creature attacks, you may tap another non-attacking creature you control without summoning sickness. When you do, add its power to the attacking creature's power until end of turn. To enlist a creature, the following conditions must be met. It must be untapped. It can't be attacking, even if it has vigilance, and it can't have summoning sickness. The attacking player must choose whether to tap a creature for an enlist ability immediately after they tap the creatures that they have chosen to attack with. You can't choose to enlist a creature later. You may tap only one creature for an enlist ability, and a single creature can't be tapped for more than one enlist ability.
The only thing better in Magic than attacking is when your opponent's creatures don't block. So why not try some of Dominaria's new stun counters, an exciting way to prevent tapped permanents from untapping. A stun counter means if a permanent with a stun counter would become untapped, remove one from it instead. Stun counters replace untapping for any reason, including players untapping tapped permanents during their untap steps.
What happens if a permanent has multiple stun counters on it?
Only one will be removed each time it would become untapped.
What happens with becomes untapped triggers?
Abilities won't trigger if a stun counter is removed instead.
What if untapping a permanent is part of a cost?
Ooh, this one's interesting. You may pay that cost by untapping a tapped permanent. The stun counter will be removed, the creature will remain tapped, and the cost will be considered paid.
Oh. Dominarians have been using Power Stones for millennia, usually to power some horrific weapon of war, or, in rare cases, as eyes. And now you can use them too, although I don't recommend the eye thing. Power Stones are a new kind of predefined token. Each one has the artifact subtype Power Stone and the ability tap, add colorless. This mana can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell. Pay attention to the double negative. You can use this mana on a lot of things. For example, paying costs to activate abilities of both artifact and non-artifact permanents, paying ward costs, and so on. You can even use it to pay the one.
If every mechanic is just Kicker with extra steps, what do we do when Kicker is back? We cover how it works. Kicker cost means as you cast this spell, you may pay an additional cost. If you do, you'll get an additional effect. You can't pay a Kicker cost more than once. If you put a permanent with a Kicker ability onto the battlefield without casting it, you can't kick it. If you copy a kicked instant or sorcery spell, the copy is also kicked. If a card or token enters the battlefield as a copy of a permanent, the new permanent isn't kicked, even if the original was.
Our final returning mechanic is Domain. That's right, my friend, it's time to start caring about basic land types again. Domain abilities count the number of basic land types among lands you control, not how many lands you control or how many of any type. The basic land types are plains, island, swamp, mountain, and forest. Land types other than basic land types, such as desert or wastes, don't contribute to domain abilities. That's it for the rules.
Thanks for watching.